Well, guys, that was another one. That was number eight.
Number 8.
Number eight.
Wow. Mind blowing.
So, want to wrap up a little bit of what your thoughts are, Tom, of what we
Well,
just
my
shared
key
about?
word for the whole episode was easy, and it's easy when I don't put pressure on myself, to say something like really big deal. Just share what comes to me, and be open to solutions. I love free speech because I can share what feels good, what doesn't feel good, what's emotions, what's my intellect. But that's the way, as I've said before, I get to kind of uncover, what are my true feelings. And I think the big key here was really, when we were talking about resources, and we ended with a beautiful story that the folks will have to hear, which we started with two stories where it was, here's one way that you'll watch people work with resources and what gets stimulated, the concepts that get stimulated, like, oh, we have to make it fair for somebody, or, oh, we have to, own that, and we have to have that, and, the over possessiveness or the over, moral issues or over fairness. And then at the end, you shared a story that was really about that, community, true feelings of community restoration, regeneration, and healing, and how we all noted, like, wow, that's the way we need to work with our resources. It's a spiritual example, rather than getting in the, and other people's job is to get into the process of how we work with things, or the system, the intellectual aspects of it. But our job, or my job, is more to help people tune into that spiritual side of things to balance it out.
Yeah, well, I think it is interesting to recognize what am I to share, right? Like what you're saying. So I know people that share about, shadow work and breath work and all this deep stuff and going in. I'm like, that's not what I'm here to share about. Now, I need to do my own work so that way I can share about being enthusiastic and really recognizing that, what my part is in the whole picture. And I think that's the thing that I really got from today is, we really emphasize the resources, the land, the money, the places we live, the way we pivot in the world, like what and how do we gather our resources to really support what we're here to do. And so it was, and my keyword today was sincere, and I felt that there was a lot of sincerity that came from all of us in the way that we shared this week versus other weeks, and also with the backing of spirit, because it's a unique exploration that we're doing here, in the sense that we are sharing some things that are going on that are bigger picture, or some highlighted areas out in the world, but yet the way we're going about it from that sincerity of really our heart, and knowing that this is a spiritual way to look at things, versus just going, well, here's a story and here's the crap, it's how it's going to affect you in the world. It's really being more practical, and also really recognizing that we can lift people up, even though we're talking about some areas of life that may not feel so uplifting.
Well, my keyword is free. I'm sorry, it's not free. My keyword is love.
And you feel free.
Well, I got ahead of myself. And what I was just regrouping from our get together here is that for me to really love myself and love people, love my opportunity, I need to feel free in it, and have that respect. So that, to me, that's all kind of bundled up into my keyword, and what guidance is trying to inspire me with by giving me that keyword, love. That I don't have to explain it. I don't have to protect it. I don't have to fight for it. I don't have to worry about it getting taken away from me. I just am it. And so that's kind of the part of the thing that I'm standing out to me in our time around here. And then some of the commonalities of the stories and sharing them, it really does for me come back down to, am I invested in what I need and want? And the things that come up that that have turmoil in them, or have challenges with them, or, you know, so and so is doing this and then I get upset, or whatever. Like there's that old saying, it's like all time spent being sad is less time being happy, you know. And it's that there's that energy of, do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? You know, and so that energy of love is just being accepting of where people are at. Some of these stories that we go over in the last many weeks, some of them are pretty challenging stories. I mean, some heavy duty stuff. And it's like being accepting of the way things are instead of the way things are supposed to be or should be. And the reason why that's important for me and why that's connected to love is because I can't do anything about it till I come back to my pivot point of love and respect and acceptance. It is what it is, and people have their way of doing it. I've got my way of doing it. I certainly would not want anyone to come and tell me what to do and to change when I'm not ready for it, you know? So that energy of love, and just being full of what I need to be a part of, who I am, what I've come to do. That's the key. And how can I do it all the time? And if I find, like I mentioned earlier, if I find myself outside of that, start identifying that, right? Don't let it just sit and smother me with like, oh, this stuff or that stuff. And I was just being reminded, it's like the 4 W's. You know, we talk about the 4 W's, the what, the when, the where, and the why. You know, that helps me clarify so much, and not leaving any of them out, right? With the moment I leave something out, when I'm having a challenge, and it's like, okay, let me get the facts. Let me get the facts. What do I want to do about that? Right? It really does come down to that simplicity. And if I don't do it, then I must love my troubles more than what I am aiming at or what I want. Because that's it at the end of the day. I only have me to blame, per se. So anyway, to wrap up, love is all about just being 100% in the moment, and enjoying and accepting and having the camaraderie that we do here, and the people that we share with on these podcasts. It's really great. And it's just something that I don't have to fight for. I just have to give.
Show up, bitches.
Yeah, show up.
Well, what strikes me is, you know, there's an idea of fairness, or there's a concept of fairness, and then there's the feeling of fairness,
right?
Or the feeling of what we're talking about. And to me, that's, if I can tune into that part of me, now I know where I'm at. That's the true fairness, is that feeling of it.
Okay, editor, it's time for you to feel and get this out. Until next time. Number 9. Next time's number 9.
Number 9, lucky 9.
Completion, but this is an 8.
I love it.
All right, guys, it's been fun.
All right.
Cheers to that.
Be there. Aloha.
Okay.